Hi, boys and girls. I'm going on to the next chapter. Let me move my face so you can see me. Good. We're in chapter 14. So we finished chapter 13, where Abraham is back from Egypt. He moves to the area between Ai and Bethel, where he already made an altar. And he is kind of traveling back and forth to Hebron. And in Hebron, he also makes an altar, like a place of prayer. Now we go off in a little bit of a tangent, a side story, and we read the following. There is a war between different cities that are kind of grouped together. So in those days, it looked like when you were the leader of a city, you're the king of the city. So we have the Amraphel, king of Shinar, Arioch, king of Elasar, Kedar Laomer, king of Elam, and Tidal, the king of Goyim. And they are fighting against the following: Bera, kings of Sodom, Birsha, king of Gomorrah, Shinhab, king of Admah, Shemever, king of Tzvoim, and King Bela, which is the king of Bela, which is also Tzoar. And the Hebrew names are listed here and also in this area. There is a war, and it's in the valley of Sedim, kind of near the Dead Sea. And it looks like in the war, Lot, Abraham's nephew, was captured. And for 12 years, they served Kedar Laomer, probably meaning that they paid taxes to Kedar Laomer. And on the 13th year, they rebelled. And on the 14th year, Kedar Laomer and the kings that were with him all came and fought. And there was the fight where I already mentioned that Lot, the nephew of Abraham, was captured. A lot of details here. I don't think we need to go into any more details than this. And now what happens? That we're in verse 13. And they took Lot, Abraham's brother's son, who dwelt in Sodom, so he was in the area where this fight took place, and his goods, and they ran away. They took Lot, all his possessions, and they left, and he used to live in Sodom, in Sodom. And then somebody escaped from the battle, and in Hebrew, Hapalit, the escaper, and he came to Abraham the Hebrew, and now he lived in the terebinth of Mamre. Terebinth is a tree type near an Amorite. We will get to him a little bit later. And there was a problem. Abraham's nephew was captured. And when Abraham heard that his nephew was a captive, he took his trained men, Chanichav, trained men, and 318 of them, and he ran after them till the city of Dan, which is somewhere in the north. So he divided himself, and at night he went after them, and he was able to capture them. And he brought back all the goods, and also Lot and his wife, his women, and all his goods. So Abraham didn't go to Lot and say, buddy, you took the best land. I don't want to know from you. You're not nice to me after all that I've done for you. I've taken you from Haran. Abraham doesn't say that. Unlike the story with Pharaoh and his wife, where Abraham doesn't look so good, in this particular story, Abraham is the one who is the nice man, and he's willing to go to war with 300 warriors to save his nephew. And it brings him back. And we meet somebody else. Melech Zdom comes to greet him after he comes from Kedar Laomer, and they meet. And Melchizedek, the king of Shalem, the king of Salem. Now, Melchizedek, kind of in his name, we see Melech, Tzedek, Tzedakah, kindness. He was a good guy. And he brings bread and wine, and he was a priest to a God, King Most High, the Most High. Who is this God? We don't know, but it appears to be a different name. It's not Elohim, and it's not Adonai. And he blesses Abraham, and he says, Baruch Avram le'el elyon koneh shamayim va'aretz. Blessed be Abraham, most high, to the maker of heaven and earth, as if to the God who makes heaven and earth. So he seems to be getting along with Abraham, or looking to make a nice deal, and gives him presents, gives him a tenth of everything. And then the king of Sodom says to Abraham, just give me back the people, and you could take all the possessions that were taken in the war. And Abraham says, what? You want me to be rewarded for saving my nephew? You want to be able to say that you made me rich? I am not willing to take even even a thread or a shoe thread, so that nobody should say that I made Abraham rich. Who made Abraham rich? God. So Abraham doesn't want any question about where his wealth comes from. And the only thing that Abraham is willing to accept is food for the 318 men who went to battle. They're hungry from the battle. That's all that he is willing to accept. This war is over. The story of saving Lot is over. But Abraham is worried because he just participated in a war. In a war, you kill people. What's going to be? And God made all sorts of promises to him. Abraham is afraid. Maybe God won't keep his promises. So what happens now is that God says to Abraham, don't be afraid. I'm protecting you. You'll have a great reward. And Abraham says, what could you do for me? I have no children, and you keep promising the land and the people to me, but I have no children. And my servant from Eliezer, from Damascus, he is the only one that's going to inherit me. This is not right. I'm not happy, dear God. So God promises to him. My computer jumped ahead, way up high. Let me just move back to the right chapter. I'm sorry about this. Here we go. And God promises to him that don't worry, I will keep my promises, and you will have children of your own who come from your own insides. So he promises to him, he takes him outside, and just like in the previous chapter, they compared his children to the sand on the beach. So here he says, look towards the heaven, count the stars. Can you count the stars? That's how many children you will have. So we have one image of Abraham's children that are in the sand, and another that they will be like the stars. And that is chapter 15. Very important promise to Abraham, and we will deal with that at our next lesson. Thank you.